episode of the Zombie Podcasts.
This episode is hosted by my dear friend Erik from the West, Finland.
And Adwit from the East, actually from Nepal.
In this podcast, we will be talking about zombies and zombie-related topics. We are doing this because we want to help you fight and survive in zombie apocalypse.
In the best possible way, we only want to take care of you guys. That's our thing.
We are so concerned about you guys.
And in this episode, it's a kind of special episode because there's one specialty going on here.
Yeah.
We are both bald.
Yes.
And the reason for that is...
well, my grandfather unfortunately passed away last week, and in the Hindu culture, it's customary. If someone from your family dies, the males have to basically shave your head.
And I'm bald because I'm not Hindu, but because I felt like Adwit is alone with his baldness now.
Yeah. And it did make me feel so much better to see another bald person.
Yeah. So I also shaved my head, and now we are both bald.
Yes.
And if you can see us, you know that we're bald. If you cannot see us, well, I think you can hear from our voices the baldness coming. So actually,
the boldness coming
actually
from our voice.
So
I think because I think the baldness actually makes you bolder.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, it makes you kind of badass, you know, like you feel kind of like a bald kind of like character. Okay, anyway, the topic for today is what kind of hairstyle would be most suitable for a zombie apocalypse.
All right, so
how about you start?
I want to start with being bald because today was my first day being bald in a very long time. I feel so fucking confident, you know, because everybody was looking at me like I was some type of like mafia and gangster, and like some people even tried to speak to me in English, you know, Nepalese people were speaking to me in English, you know.
Like a baldness, but it makes you badass.
Yeah, badass, and I don't know, maybe they thought I was a foreigner here.
Yeah,
you know?
So in zombie apocalypse it would help when you have to deal with other groups and you have to be kind of like intimidating, kind of intense kind of guy.
Exactly.
To get what you want.
Like, I think bald guys give this, you know, aura that you just don't give a fuck, actually.
Yeah, maybe that's the secret of baldness, you know?
He's not afraid of taking risks.
Yeah, unless you're bald by the like natural choice, you know, like you start to be middle-aged and your hair is going down and you start to feel bad about yourself because you feel like, oh, bald guys are not so cool. And then it like works backwards, you know, it doesn't help you so much anymore to being bald. People don't respect you because you look like you don't respect yourself. Yeah? But if you're bald and you respect your baldness, I think in the zombie apocalypse you can be really intimidating when it comes to dealing with other groups.
Do you know any intimidating bald guys?
Bruce Willis is pretty intimidating, yeah? Oh, he's always been bald in most
the Die Hard guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Vin Diesel is bald.
Yeah.
The Rock is bald.
Yeah. They're all pretty manly.
Yeah.
Masculine and strong, man.
Yeah, I think that like bald is just like a really the ultimate kind of manly kind of shit.
Yeah.
If you just like respect your baldness.
Exactly.
Like, nurture your bald. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a practical way, in a zombie apocalypse, people, especially zombies, they couldn't catch you from your hair.
No.
If you have a long hair, it's way easier to catch you from it, and zombies can bite you because they can grab your hair.
Yeah. Another would be like the intimidation part that we already discussed, yeah? I mean, if any of the looters come across you, or if anyone sees you and spots you, you know, they'll immediately be intimidated by your baldness, I think, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know any intimidating long-haired dudes in any zombie? Like this governor in the zombie comics, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
In this comic version, he had a long hair and he had this kind of like a piratey kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. But in the serious Walking Dead, the governor's hair was kind of like a half, kind of like less than half long, you know, kind of like a normal, like kind dude's hair, you know?
What about Jack Sparrow? He's not intimidating.
He's not intimidating, though.
But some of his villains in, like, the Blackbeard, he has long hair.
The Blackbeard?
In the Jack Sparrow movie.
Yeah, and I think actually the Blackbeard also became like sort of a zombie kind of character in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe third or second or something like that.
I think so, yeah. And Captain Barbossa also had long hair. He was pretty fucking intense, actually.
How did he become a zombie or ghost?
He became a zombie. Actually.
Somebody became a zombie.
Yeah, Captain Barbossa became a. Blackbeard actually was able to control his boat.
Oh,
you know, but he was pretty.
But they're pretty. Pirates can be pretty intimidating with the long hair. Yeah. So if you do the long hair thing in a zombie apocalypse, kind of like a pirate style.
Make sure you have an eye patch.
Yeah. You need the eye patch to pull it off. You know, if the people, especially other groups, when you have to be like intimidating and like kind of like show up that you're the man, you know, like you can take care of yourself. if you have like a long hair that is not taken care of, but you're kind of like a otherwise kind of loser looking kind of dude, then I think people just kind of like think, oh, that guy's somehow lazy, or he doesn't have any, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean that gives off like a very unintimidating aura. Vibe, you know, of guys
like
having a long
style. If it's like a hippie style,
especially like people from our generation. If somebody has like a really like average body and like average face, let's say, and a long hair, then I think I'd just bully him, you know, all the way, you know, through the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I think that kind of guys, they would have a harder time, if they like look like a musician, you know, because musicians would be really useful in a group. But later on, in the beginning, when you try to find people who are like essential for survival, the musician wouldn't be the first person in their group who
survival
would try to
survival would be the first priority.
Yeah, and that's why I think like soldier hairstyle, like this American short, really short on the sides and very short on the top.
Short on the sides and the back as well, I think. Right? And just a little bit of hair in the middle and the front.
Yeah, like American soldier style would be safe. It would create the feeling of safety because soldiers are trained in crisis situations. And if you have that kind of hairstyle in zombie,
exactly, and I think you'd look so much more serious.
Yeah,
you know.
How about an afro? What good would do an afro in a zombie apocalypse?
Oh man, afro.
I think you could hide stuff in the afro, right?
Yeah. Maybe you could hide a couple of grenades or bullets or knives.
Oh yeah. You could have like, depending on the size of the afro, maybe you can hide like 3 grenades in your afro and tie the afro from the top so they won't fall off, you know?
Okay.
You would do like a grenade holder kind of afro kind of style, you know?
Or you could disguise yourself as a bush in a jungle.
Yeah, but that would only work in the night. And I think, you know, like, if you compare bald and afro when it comes to disguising yourself as a bush, I think, you know, like the bald would just vanish in the bush.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be better as disguise also, right?
True.
But I think in the afro you could really hide stuff.
Also, another thing, well, if let's say you have created this really bad reputation or really amazing reputation in the zombie apocalypse, let's say, right? And you have an afro, right?
Yeah.
And people are looking for you to kill you or to loot you. Everybody will be searching for a guy with an afro. In that case, you can always shave your head and then look like a completely different person.
You're right. If you compare afro and a shaved head, afro can change anytime. But shaved head, you have to grow your hair for months, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The people search for a guy who's like a little bit like weird looking kind of guy who has a shaved head, you know? You know, they can't find it easily.
But another advantage of the shaved head is like it'll take so much less time to clean yourself, you know? And to keep yourself hygiene, like clean.
You're right. Yeah. Because anyway, there's a lot of problems in zombie apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
And if you add one more problem that your hair smells bad, right? Because you don't maybe have a time to have a shower, or you don't even maybe have a shower or shampoo or anything like this. But when you're bald, you don't need any of this stuff.
No. And you might end up having a lot of lice. You know lice, right?
Yeah.
The fucking insects that crawl up in your hair. I think afro people would have a lot of lice.
Yeah, compared to bald people at least. Yeah, because the hygiene is really bad. Yeah. But if you have like an afro type of hair, you can always put them as braids.
Braids, right? Yeah, true. As braids, but it takes so much of a long time to clean braids and to actually make braids.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I think every time you shower, you have to open all of your braids.
So then it would be a hassle. Anything that creates a lot of extra hassle in zombie apocalypse would be like would be bad, because there always is a chance that zombies attack or somebody else.
What about dreadlocks, man?
Dreadlocks, yeah. They called the dreadlocks before they used to evoke dread in people, right? But I think these days they just...
I can't imagine anyone who invokes a dread as a dreadlock.
Yeah. They just stamp you, they just like label you as a hippie.
Yeah.
And then the people are, okay, this guy might be like a little bit like a lazy kind of hippie kind of guy who doesn't want to pull his own weight, and maybe we don't want him in the group. That might be the problem of dreadlocks.
Maybe he has his head up in space, you know. He's not very realistic, you know.
But on the other hand, if they're really thick and big dreadlocks, you can hide bullets in them.
Yeah. You know what I would do if I had dreadlocks? I would fucking put knives at the end of my dreadlocks and just fucking spin around, you know, just cut people.
Oh fuck, you had to be a really like serious fucking ninja to do that, yeah? But the girl's hairstyle, this Japanese kind of schoolgirl, kind of like a short
hair coming up from the front.
Yeah,
in the forehead.
like in the forehead, like neatly cutted hair that's almost like up to your eyebrows, right?
It's called the fringes, I think. Yeah, fringes.
How about that for a zombie apocalypse?
Why would it be useful? Why do you think?
Well, at least one thing I can think of. You know,
Yeah.
if you're captured by like enemy group like the Whisperers in The Walking Dead,
Mhm,
and they
mhm.
mark people who they captured by carving something in their forehead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get carved in the forehead, but you manage to escape,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be labeled as the Whisperers guy, you know, and everybody who sees you, otherwise they're like, fuck that guy who's gonna be a spy or something.
Yeah.
But if you have this, what do you call this?
Fringes.
Yeah. They will cover this carving that your enemy carved in your forehead, you know?
Yeah.
Like if Harry Potter would have had that kind of stuff, it would have been like way easier life. Nobody would complain about his scar.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that would be the solution for a girl.
Fringes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least in that situation.
What do you think the bad sides would be of the fringes?
They look kind of nice, like kind, you know?
Yeah, I think it give off like a really like very kind and gentle persona about you, which you don't want in the zombie apocalypse.
No, at least in the beginning you have to be really hard. You have to be really hard when you meet new people, and later you can be kind and all this kind of thing. But if you have fringes,
you'll always have that option, you know? If you have like long hair, you know, you'll always have that option, in my opinion.
To make fringes, right?
To make fringes or to make yourself appear as a badass or like a kind and gentle soul.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I
right.
mean?
And you can make any haircut from long hair.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like 2 ponytails and you have long hair, for girls, let's say, you can be like a jolly, like, you know, childish and, you know, jumpy kind of a character, you know, which, I don't know, might be useful someday in the zombie apocalypse. But if you want like a hardcore thing, you could have just like 1 ponytail, you know, or like, I don't know, shave like a side of your temple.
Oh yeah. You can always make this badass kind of like a thing in your hair, even though it's normal kind of hair, but like something can be shaved off.
Exactly.
Well, how about this kind of like a mullet? Eugene in The Walking Dead series have a mullet.
That's not very intimidating. Eugene is not very. I think in the 80s it was very, very intimidating.
In the 80s, I heard. I was not alive in the 80s. Actually, I'm born in the 1990s.
No, but I'm saying this because I watched a lot of 80s movies. Yeah. I think most characters in the
80s, if zombies would have attacked, mullet was maybe hardcore. But these days, it's kind of hard to take care of. You have to put a lot of like a hairspray to keep the mullet going.
I don't know. It's
how about this kind of like?
What kind of persona would it give? What do you think?
Well, I think in zombie apocalypse, if you see like well taken, a mullet that is well taken care of, right? It says that this guy. It might say that this guy has everything under control because he even has time to take care of his mullet. Right? Same would go with, I would see like a rockabilly kind of Elvis kind of hair.
Oh yeah.
Like, fuck, this guy has really good, you know?
Yeah, like black and shiny hair, like all gelled up and combed.
Yeah.
I think and that might give off the wrong impression though.
Yeah. The downside of that would be like if people see that you have everything good, they might follow you where you stay, you know, because they want what you got.
Yeah. Like a secure house and shelter, you know, that might symbolize that, you know, the Elvis or the mullet, you know, really like well taken like care of hair. Do you know what I mean? What about simple things like let's say curly hair with girls? What do you think?
Curly. Well, you know, like many girls, they do so that they have a curly hair, and then they make it straight with the straightener.
Yeah.
Or then they have a straight hair and they make it curly with a curliner.
Curliner. Yeah.
So, what are the downsides of these things? You know, like
curly hair. I don't know. Curly hair is really hard to manage. You know, and people can obviously grab you by your hair, right? And I always get like this feeling that girls from near the seaside have like curly hair because of like there's so much like salty air.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then it just curls up your hair.
So when you see a girl with a curly hair, you might have some like some idea already where they're coming from. Right?
Yeah, I think like I'm not being like I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a hairist. Yeah. Hairist, who discriminates people by their hair. I don't know. I have this feeling that always curly people with girls, especially with curly hair, know how to fucking fish. You know, because
they you know, the sea air might curl their hair.
Yeah, and they're from near the sea, so they're used to fucking fishing, like, you know, fucking spears or like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I understand you.
Or they might have a boat.
They might have a boat, and in the zombie apocalypse, boat would be golden.
Yeah.
Unless the zombies can swim.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on a boat with a girl with a curly hair and that's it, and the zombies can swim, I think you might be completely fucked. Yeah.
True.
I mean, if you have a spear or something.
Yeah, spear or I don't know, nets. I don't know how they fish.
Oh yeah, maybe they know how to fish with a net.
Nets.
Do you know how to fish with a net?
I don't know how to fish with anything.
Oh man.
I read this tip that you need to pee somewhere and then fish, because then the fish start like getting attracted to your pee, and then
really?
Yeah.
Hey, has any of our listeners ever tried this kind of trick that you pee somewhere and throw a net and hope that the fish come there? Maybe. Hey, how about the straight hair in the zombie apocalypse? You know, like, at least if you would oil your straight hair, you would be like quite smooth if you have to like dive through some bush or something when zombies attack. Yeah. Like if you're in a camp at the night and the zombies attack and you have to like dive into the bush.
Yeah.
At that.
What the fuck? Straight hair.
Yeah. At that point, the straight hair might do the trick.
Oh, I don't know, man. Straight hair might also give off that impression that, okay, this girl has a lot of time to take care of her hair, you know. Or if it's really flat and straight, you know what that means? That means the girl is kind of unhealthy. She's not been eating
like
well.
I think if you have some lack of vitamin of some sort, or maybe the sunlight or a combination of both, maybe your hair becomes more flat. Exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, like in the comments or somewhere, because I've heard about this, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it might be like an urban legend kind of shit, but I think that might be it, you know. And even if it's not true, if people think that's true, that's what matters. Because when you encounter people in a zombie apocalypse, they look at you like, oh, that girl's hair is kind of flat, you know. Maybe she doesn't have this vitamin C 27, you know.
Vitamin C 27.
Yeah. Maybe this girl's hair is kind of, you know, this girl's hair is kind of flat, and maybe she doesn't have this vitamin. So maybe we actually, you know, maybe that means that she's in an underground bunker somewhere, and she has been there for like 6 months, and there's all kind of canned food and tuna and mackerel and, you know, all kind of like maybe television with a like a broadcast opportunity possibility.
Yeah.
Right? So if you wanna attract that kind of attention with your flat hair, then be my guest. But in some situations it might be good, you know, like if the people wanna, like, you're alone, you know, and you need some people who have something, and it's good that give the impression that you have it good.
Exactly.
That flat hair kind of could, in a reverse.
Or maybe you could have the flat hair girls, like, maybe make other people join your group, because she could portray that she's having such a good life, such good hair. You know what I mean? What about girls with short hair?
Oh, that's really hardcore, because that's more intimidating than a guy with a short hair.
Yeah,
because it's a more radical choice.
Yeah, guys usually have short hair.
Yeah, like if the girl has a really short hair, you know? I think because so many girls don't have really short hair. That's unusual. And when you see that, you're like, oh, okay, this girl's got something in her, you know?
Yeah.
Like hardcore kind
exactly.
of thing.
I'll feel like if I see a girl with a really short hair in the zombie apocalypse, I'll kind of feel like, okay, this girl has lost fucking everything and she's not afraid to lose anything. Yeah?
Yeah,
that kind of...
And the person who has nothing to lose is the most dangerous person.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I'd be really, like, scared and very friendly with a girl with short hair.
Yeah.
You know?
Like in the World War Z, the Israeli soldier who Brad Pitt cuts off her hand because she's infected with a zombie bite. She's kind of hardcore, you know?
Yeah, and she asks him to cut the hand.
Yeah, she's like, hardcore, cut my arm, you know?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Brad Pitt has like a half-long hair in that movie.
Half-long hair, yeah. He's not very intimidating.
No, he's like a sweet kind of guy.
Sweet and smart,
yeah, like a family kind of guy, right?
Yeah. Who's only brave when he needs to be.
Yeah.
Guy,
so that kind of hairstyle would like label you as like kind of father type who protects his family, you know?
I didn't think
he keeps it pretty neat in that movie.
Yeah, he does. I didn't think like hairstyles, meant so many things until we started discussing about this.
Mhm.
Yeah. What else? What other hairstyles would you think about? Short hair.
Well, maybe Mohawk, What does
Oh.
Mohawk tell you?
Mohawk with a guy or a girl, I think, would give me the same impression that they're fucking anarchists.
Maybe, yeah.
They do whatever
yeah,
the
like in a
fuck
Mad
they-
Max, there's a lot of Mohawks
Yeah,
in this kind of world, right?
yeah, mad. Even the girls,
Yeah.
it's fucking-
If you want to loot other people's camps and these things, I think
Mhm.
Mohawk would be kind of like intimidating. as
exactly.
fuck,
Mohawk with like spikes,
Yeah, yeah.
You spike up your hair. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that would be a really good choice if you want to be that kind of like aggressive survivor who chooses his way or her way in surviving
Yeah.
by being aggressive asshole, who,
Exactly.
who loots
Yeah.
other people's and
And
intimidates
it's
them.
usually these guys who survive all the way through the zombie apocalypse.
Maybe I think
You know what I mean?
these kind of people versus the army people who have like army hair,
Yeah.
It's like between these two guys,
Yeah.
like army people are trained and they take care of the crisis
Yeah.
situation and know how to manage a group.
Exactly. They're disciplined.
But these other people are like, okay, what's their advantages? They got no moral
Yeah.
conducts anymore, and they
Exactly.
just fuck people up,
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you're that kind of guy, and if you portray yourself that kind of guy or girl, you have a really high chance of surviving zombie apocalypse.
What hairstyle would you pick?
Man, I think I would be bald in a
Yeah?
zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
I think I like being bald. Yeah. I mean, I feel pretty confident, but I think I would pick the Mohawk.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like a short or long mohawk?
Like long, like fucking spiky Mohawk, Because I think I'm picturing myself in the zombie apocalypse right now. I think I'll be fucking looting a lot of people. In the
You
zombie.
would be one of those bastards.
Yeah.
I think I would be bald because now when I'm bald, I like it when I can wake up in the morning and I have one thing less to think about, Just kind of wake up and fuck off.
Yeah.
Normally I have to wake up and think of like, put some
Oh yeah.
brush your hair
Yeah.
or this kind of shit, Now I don't have to. And in zombie apocalypse, the less stuff you have to think about, the better.
Exactly.
Because you have so intense action coming up, like whatever happens that day. How about you guys? What kind of hairstyle would you prefer to have during a zombie apocalypse? What would be the best?
Exactly. Or if we haven't discussed any other hairstyle that you know
What
about.
others are there?
Yeah.
We don't know fucking anything about
Anything.
girls' hairstyles.
No. Or guys' hairstyles. we know like 3.
Yeah, we're not the hairstyle
No.
masters at all. So please suggest us, what would you guys pick? Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.